Hello everybody, my name is Citrus, and people always tell me, Citrus, you gotta stop playing those Sonic games, you gotta stop watching your Sonic shows, you need to do something else, you need to try something else. And you know what? I'm finally willing to hear them out. You know, I've heard about this reading thing, it just came out, it sounds pretty cool, so you know what? I think we're gonna give that a shot. I believe this is a Hemingway. The IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic series is the second Sonic the Hedgehog comic series outside of the British comics and the Japanese manga series, but I'm not here to give you a history lesson, I'm just here to brain dump about Sonic. I've been planning to talk about the IDW Sonic series for quite a while now, and with them hitting their 50th issue, I figured now would be a great time. These comics have given us some of the best, most interesting stories in the entire Sonic series, and I'm here to tell you why you should read them. Yeah, that's right, this is Sonic propaganda, you better strap in. Hopefully by the end of this video, you're booking it to your local Barnes & Noble, barreling into the kids section, and picking up a copy for yourself. And maybe a cookie while you're at it, you know what, you deserve it. This title card is a lie. The comics don't really have one big plot, so much as multiple smaller plots. You have the aftermath of the worst game ever, zombie robots, Scrooge McDuck's uprising, and of course, lesbians. Having these different arcs and mini-stories helps to keep things varied and fresh, as they can greatly change the tone and style in each of these arcs. One minute it's your typical Sonic and friends saving the day story, and the next it can be a very depressing and dark story. It also allows them to focus on different characters and different character dynamics within each arc. For instance, in Volume 9, Chow Races and Badnik Bases, we get to see Amy, Cream, and Rouge team up to try and win a Chow racing tournament in order to win parts to fix Omega. Not only is this a super unique setup with them taking this minigame from Sonic Adventure 2 and fleshing it out into a whole story beat in the comics, but also having Amy, Rouge, and Cream all interacting is just a really interesting dynamic between the characters that we really don't get to see in the games. I think that's the biggest strength of the comics. You get these really unique stories with continuity that actually makes sense, and these character relationships that the games just don't really provide anymore. And while we're on the subject of characters, let's actually go in depth with how the comics handle these characters. Now, like I said, the character dynamics in the comics are great, but in order to have those really good dynamics, you need to have really good, well-written characters. And these are some really, really well-written characters. In recent games, Sonic has been sort of dumbed down into just being a cool jokester who has no real emotional depth. He just says his terrible catchphrases and quippy one-liners, which just makes it hard to get invested in his character when serious stuff happens, like, you know, an actual fucking war. In the comics, not only is Sonic cooler than how he acts in the games, but we also get to see the other sides of him. We get to see him when he's sad or angry or just bored, and it really makes him feel like much more of a real character. It also makes the stakes of the story feel much more real, and I don't mean to keep on bringing up Sonic Forces. Well, that's not really true. I do intend to keep on bringing up Forces because it's just such a good example of everything wrong with Sonic. I know everyone brings this up, but Sonic was in like space jail for months, and according to Knuckles, was being tortured? And then when we see him again, he's the same old happy-go-lucky power of friendship self. It's like, what? Meanwhile, in the comics, I don't want to spoil anything, but things get pretty bad for Sonic, and it really takes a toll on him. And when I just present it like that, it may sound like the comics are really edgy, and I'm not gonna lie, they can get edgy at times, but it's balanced really well. You know, we have some more serious moments, we have some more lighthearted moments, and it never feels like one is taking over more than the other. They're pretty well equated. And it only gets better with the side characters, as not only are they as well written and fleshed out as Sonic, but they're also just used more. Everyone gets their own moment to shine, so you're not just looking forward to what Sonic does next, but you're also interested in what's gonna happen to Tails, Amy, Knuckles, Rouge, Silver, Shadow, Espio, Vector. It's just like everyone who's involved you like and you are interested in. Like, Vector is a character I've always been cool with. I never really thought much about him, but in the comics, he's had some really, really good moments to the point where there's some of my favorite in the whole series. This character who I didn't even think about very much before this has now become one of my favorites. And that's not even bringing up the comic original characters like Tangle, Whisper, Dr. Starline, who are all fantastic. I feel like when people hear that the comics have their own original characters, that they might start to get worried that these characters won't fit with the main cast or will feel out of place or just feel like comic original characters. But that's not at all the case because they are added so naturally into the narrative, they work well with the existing characters and sort of integrate themselves into those dynamics. Like, Dr. Starline is one of my new favorite Sonic villains just because of his mannerisms and attitude. He's just so interesting. These characters don't feel like they're shoehorned in to try and add some personality into the comics. They genuinely feel like a part of the main cast, and I would be pretty happy if they showed up in like a mainline game or something. I could talk on and on about how much I love the characters in this comic and how they're written, but there's another side to comics. It's not just words, it's also images and art. And how is the art in the Sonic comics? I don't even know where to begin with this segment because it's just like, just look at some of this stuff. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I feel like I don't even really need to just explain why it's so good, but if I didn't, then it wouldn't be a very good YouTube video. One of the things I really like about the comics is how each artist gets to bring their own style into the series, so there's never like one specific type that everyone is beholden to. Everyone has their own style and can bring their own flavor into the comics, and I just think that's really fun. It allows artists to flex their own skills and their own style, and has created some of the most interesting art styles in the Sonic series. There's tons of great artists who work for IDW, so I don't have time to talk about every single one, so I'm just gonna list off 3 of my favorites. And we'll start with Tracy Yardley, who is just like a master at doing this shit. I think the number one thing about Tracy Yardley's art is that it is consistent. Every time he draws Sonic or any of the other characters, it is perfect to a T. It looks dead on, like how they should look and how the games look. Everything about his posing and his framing and just everything that he captures within a single panel looks fantastic. When I think of the Sonic comics, I think of Tracy Yardley's art. And then you have Evan Stanley's artwork, which is very different from most normal Sonic art that you see. I feel like she has a really good grasp on making these characters feel three-dimensional, like they're really in whatever space that they're occupying, with Sonic's quills bending and shaping around whatever it might be hitting them. Her colors are also really excellent, again adding to the whole natural feel of it, where the characters feel like they are in whatever setting that you portray them due to how the lighting just hits them and reacts accordingly. And her expressions are really squishy and exaggerated in a really nice, fun way. I think overall the best way to describe Evan Stanley's art is just being very soft. It's very nice, then it makes you feel like warm when you look at it. And the last artist I'd like to talk about is actually my favorite artist on the IDW team, Adam Bryce Thomas. This man makes such beautiful fire, so like his art is so good. It's so good. I've been trying to stay like very analytical and like on topic for this video, but I can't with this art. It's so fire, man. It looks like a shonen Sonic, if you get what I mean. Like, it looks like a straight up Sonic manga whenever he's working on this shit. It looks so good. It's so badass, and he uses these like motion lines whenever he's doing action, which is also fire. Whenever he does action sequences, it's amazing. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I think it's issue 7 of the comics. He did the artwork in that one, he did the coloring in that one. It was so good. It looked so sick. And as I just mentioned, his coloring is great too. When you combine his regular like art style and he also does the coloring, it goes crazy. It goes so crazy. God, I'm literally flipping through it right now. These pages, man. These pages, God, they're insane. This man is insane. It's so good. But to get back on topic, the comics just have such amazing art throughout the entire series, and so many talented people work on this stuff. It's just really incredible, and it shows in the quality of these comics. There's just so much to love here in terms of purely art. Just talking about the art, everything here looks amazing. The fight scenes are so fun and cool looking. There's a lot to love, and then you take into consideration the fact that it's also well written and has a really good story. It's just like, why are you not reading the comics right now? Why are you watching me? Go pick up a comic. Go read it. Go read it again if you already have, because this is fire. In conclusion, the IDW Sonic comics are just such an amazing series, and one that I think every Sonic fan should read, with amazing art, great writing, unique stories. It's some of the best material to come out of the series ever. And if you haven't started the Sonic comics yet, I hope this video maybe convinced you to do so, you know? I'm really passionate about these comics. I think they're some of the best stuff coming out of Sonic right now. And honestly, I think these comics really helped me stay being a Sonic fan, as after Forces, I was kind of falling out of love, and these are what really kept me going for a while, because they showed how much potential really great Sonic stories can have with really good art, really good writing. It was showing the potential. And with Sonic Frontiers on the horizon, with Ian Flynn, the main writer for the comics, now also working on Frontiers, it's like we're seeing that potential being unfolded before our very eyes. And if you would like a taste of what is possibly in store for Frontiers, read the comics. You know, they just hit issue 50. It's a great time to get started. You can binge through all of those, read the spin-offs, and do whatever. You'll have a great time, I swear. There's no complicated reading order or any mumbo-jumbo like that. Just pick up the first volume and see if you like it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, click that like button, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, comment down below. If you've been reading the Sonic comic series, if you're caught up or anything like that, tell me your favorite moments from the series. I'd love to know your thoughts. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace.